What is up, bros? Josh here. Today's video is all about the best ships for ranked battles. Now, normally I make this video before the ranked season starts, but because there was so much uncertainty with the different style of ranked battles, as you know in the past, ranked battles has been 7v7, usually one tier throughout the entire season of a normal kind of domination style game mode. This season has been the new arms race game mode and 6v6. It is tier 9 this season though, so I wanted to kind of hold off until I actually got some play in myself and wanted to see if what I thought would kind of be the right ships. I didn't want to make a video about a ton of uncertainties going into this season, so I wanted to kind of get a feel and then make this video itself. But this season is a little different. Arms Race is a new type of game mode if you guys haven't played it in the past, and this season is very much Destroyer and Battleship heavy from what I've seen so far. So just starting with DDs, Jean Bart, we were playing that last night, actually a lot of fun. The DD strength is pretty stuck with tier 9. Tier 9 is a tier, in my opinion, the worst tier they could have ever done for ranked battles because of how premiums are. Basically, premium strength is at tier 9 is crazy. There's a couple of them that are very strong, especially the battleship. But destroyers, I think, are where the tech tree ships kind of shine as being some of the strongest ones. And you can see that in the Jutland. In my opinion, obviously this is all my opinion. You can enjoy whatever ships you like, whatever playstyle you like. Jutland is by far the best destroyer I have seen so far. Now, before all the Kitakazi hate I get, Kitakazi to me would easily be number 2. Kitakazi to me though is a bit more of a damage farming ship. This is going to be able to pump out more annoying farming damage with this ship. I think the Jutland overall though is just a better ship in general. One of the main reasons is this ship's alpha damage is insane with the AP and HE if you have inertia fuse, as well as having the long duration hydroacoustic searches, which will keep you safe and can help you push smoke, blah blah blah. If you've ever played it, you know how good the ship is, as well as having the fast Royal Navy smokes. Get in, get out, repair a fire, or get a fire repaired on the battleship, start lighting another fire, hit them with the torp, blah 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 blah. I think the Jutland, in my opinion, is by far the best, followed by the Kitakazi at 2. The Kitakazi is extremely good. As I said, I think the Kitakazi is a tad better at farming damage, so it's going to be up to your playstyle. I love the Jutland being able to push in. After that, it's kind of something I figured would happen, and it's the steel ship, the USS Black. Now, if you haven't, look at that camo. I forgot I had that camo on. The USS Black is, and the reason being, is that it has radar and smoke. It's one of the few ships in this game and the only ship at this tier that has radar and smoke, so that right there is a huge strength. It is a steel ship though, so very few people are going to actually be able to have that, so it's hard to really talk about this ship for too long. One of the downsides about the USS Black though is its torpedoes. I know they hit extremely hard, over 21,000 damage alpha on the torpedoes, but base, they are actually, these are even the boosted ones. 43 knots, extremely slow, almost useless in my opinion. This is my biggest thing when everyone talks about the USS Black being overpowered or whatever. I always gripe about their torps being so slow that they are almost useless. So I do put this at 3 though, because it does have smoke as well as radar. It's kind of funny playing the Jutland and then going against the USS Black. They do very you can just see the play coming, and what the play is they'll get close to you, then they'll smoke up, and then they'll radar, and then they'll pump a bunch of damage in. I found that I love having a USS Black supporting me, and that's pushing in with the Jutland. Jutland having one of the lowest detections at this tier of 5.7, not even including the buffs, pushing in, and then with the radar supporting me. I love having a Kitakaze or a USS Black. Everything else I could care less about. And so after these 3, so the Jutland, the Kitakaze, and then the USS Black, there is a big gap before anything else is even really competitive in my opinion. I would say the next one that's probably competitive is the Fletcher. The Fletcher is still fantastic, still a very good alpha damage, fast torpedoes, still very good, but just not quite bringing, I say this is probably the only one that's still honestly really competitive outside of these 4, but the other 3 are just so much stronger in the long run. And then probably after that, the Z46, you do have the offensive sonar, but you're starting to get into that 5.9 where everything's going to have that first kind of salvo on you, and we're starting to see that power creep that we've seen before. After that, it's who cares. In my opinion, and this is just being brutally honest, if I see a Yugumo, Obviously, again, I don't want to see a bunch of hate in the comments. You can have really good games with these. I know I'm going to see that. But if I see a Yugumo, an Udaloy, a Tashkent, and I'm sorry, Chungmu, Pan-Asian DD line has just, the stock has just plummeted over time. Even the Chungmu being able to bring radar, you do have to trade smoke for radar. So if you pop radar, you can use it, but you're going to get obliterated. If I see Yugumo, one of the Russian destroyers, Chungmu, the team's at a disadvantage. They're just weaker. It's sad to be that blunt about it. There are certain DDs that have such an advantage, being the Jutland, Kitakaze, USS Black, and even the Fletcher. Outside of those, I really just don't see a competitive edge to any one of these DDs. And if I see them on my team, now I had a team where I was playing the Jean Bart. We had a Fletcher and 2 Yugumos against 3 Kitakazes, and we blanked them. We killed all of them. So even though I say they're weaker straight up, doesn't mean you can't go out and win games. I just want to tell you the blunt truth on DDs. So in my opinion, still for destroyers, Jutland, number 1, Kitakaze, pretty close, number 2. After that, the utility of the USS Black having smoke and radar, it puts it at number 3. And then there's a decent gap to number 4. The Fletcher, everything else is just kind of in the back burner, in the dust, and you're going to be, although still usable, you will be going, you'll be going at a disadvantage against those top 4 destroyers for sure. So for cruisers, it is pretty much radar or bust from the looks of it. And so if you are taking a cruiser that doesn't have radar, in my opinion, it's only going to be for farming damage and not going to be the most useful ship. I haven't even seen a St. Louis yet. Now, I've seen other streams playing. I've seen runes. I personally haven't seen a rune. But outside of, outside of your ship not having radar, you want to bring a radar cruiser. A Seattle or Buffalo have been extremely useful. Actually, Buffalo was one of my dark horses this season because its ability to really tank a lot of damage. When I'm playing the Jean Bart, that 27mm plating just laughs at my AP if they are angled in. So Buffalo has been actually pretty tanky, but just hope you don't see a Musashi because it's pretty nuts. I have to put, now the Donskoy, the Kronstadt is fantastic, but from what I've seen so far, it's pretty heavy DD, so I'm really liking the Seattle. I'm going to put the Seattle as my go-to cruiser right now. Low detection, good radar, high alpha damage, fast firing, get in, get out, get on with those DDs, and you can really help your team early by supporting those destroyers, getting in close, and using that low detection with that radar and that fire rate. I'm loving the Seattle. Again, my top 4 are going to be all the radar cruisers. It's all about radar. 6v6, get in there and get that DD spotted, or sit, help your DDs out, and then you're on to basically the next game. One good radar from a Seattle, one good radar from a Buffalo is going to give your team that advantage. The best part about the Kronstadt and the Donskoy, now obviously the Kronstadt much better than the Donskoy in my opinion on this because it's just tankier, is they have that long range radar, 11.7. Now this will be standardized down the road, but 11.7, this is one of those things you can give your DDs that advantage to get that middle cap if needed because of the long range radar. USN don't quite have that. You're running the 9.45. So longer range, shorter duration, but it's really useful to get that early prop and push those DDs away from a good start. And you can start off with a couple extra buffs because of that length, the extension of the radar with having the extra range. So in my opinion, I got to go Seattle at number 1. Buffaloes have been very useful. I've seen this. So Buffalo's number 2 for me. Kronstadt, solid 3rd, although not available anymore. Only if you got the free XP early. It just went away with this patch. And then the Donskoy at number 4. And then after that, it's basically everything else. Ibuki, damage farming ship. Rune, damage farming ship. Neptune. I've been seeing a decent amount of Neptunes actually. I have not seen a radar Neptune yet. So no one has had the balls to play one yet. Lots of smoke Neptunes. Obviously, again, you can have lots of success with these. I just think the other 4 are bringing a tool that is super good for close quarter 6v6. And then St. Louis. I haven't even seen a St. Louis yet. This was one I was hoping would be good with the boost, but it's all about getting in close and getting that kill early. These damage farming ships really aren't going to give you that. They're going to extend the game, make it longer, and kind of just not be as effective as possible. So radar, radar, radar for cruisers. Again, Seattle is my pick if I were going to play a cruiser to be the most effective getting in and getting those wins. Now for Big Bad Battleships, this kind of highlights how terrible this tier was, in my opinion, for this ranked battle season. Now, I'm having fun playing this ranked battle season. Let's not get away from that. I'm having fun. It's new. It's unique. It's bringing some goofiness to this play. As some people said, it feels a little less serious, but I don't think that's a terrible thing. But this kind of highlights the reason why this tier is so bad, and it's going over the top 3 battleships, in my opinion. First of all, Musashi. It's going to be the one that just slaps the hardest. It has Yamato shells. It's very tanky. Highest health pool this tier. Well, I guess one of the highest health pools this tier. I think it is that as well. But big health, big guns, and good secondaries if you want to run it. So this is a fantastic one. I'm going to go for it. Downside is you can't get the Musashi anymore outside of super containers. Same with the second ship that I'm going to talk about is the Missouri. Obviously, the Missouri brings the tool. Obviously, you can see we were still doing all the credit farming for those old missions, so we're running all the Gamescom camos. But Missouri, and the thing about this ship is it's the only battleship still with radar. This can be very useful for kind of holding down a line because the DDs, it's the only battleship with radar, so I have to put it second. Missouri's super strong though still. Same with the Musashi. Again, the ship is only available through super containers. It's not available anywhere else. And then third, I got to get to the Jean Bart. I've been playing the Jean Bart. I've been loving the Jean Bart. It's so much fun. I love being fast. I just want to go fast. The reload booster is so much fun. And you can be an HE slinging fool like me and just have a good time and just watch the battleships burn down. I know I might get some hate for that, but being able to support your DDs is fantastic. If I don't have radar, I can at least be aggressive and use that reload booster to help those guys out. Just pushing in early with the Jean Bart has proven to be super successful with the reload consumable, and getting those reloads later and then just kind of bow tanking the rest of the game has definitely worked as well. The downside about these first 3 ships is they're all premium ships. 2 of them aren't even available really anymore, and this one is a ton of coal. You have to play a lot to actually get enough coal to even get the Jean Bart. This is the highlight of what's wrong with tier 9. And although I'm having fun, it's a great tier for the people who are with. It's a terrible tier for people who are without. So that's why I was always against this tier. But hey, we have it, and so I'm listing off the strengths of these ships. After that, the Izumo just got its buff. I haven't really seen too many. The most haven't been super successful. The Iowa. I've actually seen some decent plays in the Iowa. Alsace as well, I think, is a very strong tier tech tree ship, getting those secondaries in. Freddy, I've even seen some decent plays out of Freddy's with the secondary builds. Lion, I've only seen one. He wasn't wearing a camo. I've only seen one Izumo so far. But the thing is, it's a terrible thing to say, but if you're not bringing one of these top 3 ships and the enemy team does have one of these top 3 ships, it's just you just are at a disadvantage, and that's the sad part about this tier. But again, Musashi first, Missouri second, and then the Jean Bart finishing out top 3. After that, probably Alsace, Iowa, depending on how you want to play it, and then Izumo, Freddy, Lion last. This is just a bummer, though. This is the worst part about this tier, but still, you can still be effective, of course, in everything. And then we'll bounce over to CVs. LOL, there aren't any CVs at tier 9 anymore. So this tier itself, I think, is potentially one of the worst tiers. Just because of the availability of some of these ships. Some of the ships are very fun to play, but only if you have them. And overall, if you are a tech tree player, maybe don't have these, didn't have the time to get them, it's still going to be doable. If you have the time, get in there. I find this to be extremely fun. I have been loving the Jutland. The Jutland's been so much fun. I've been loving the Jean Bart as well. They've been a lot of fun. So I think so far what I've seen is DDs have been the strongest class, followed by battleships, then cruisers. Although a good radar cruiser has had a big impact on the game. So depending on what you want to play, you can be very successful in anything. Obviously, it's up to your playstyle. For me, though, I have seen a good DD player. Normally in rank, this happens. A good DD is worth their weight in gold. Battleships are fantastic if you are supporting your destroyers. Battleships shooting at DDs? What are you talking about? And then cruisers, if you can get in and get close and support your DDs early. I mean, there have been times where I have known I could outplay these. Let's say our team is stacked with 2 DDs, 2 of the better ones, 2 of the top 3. Their team has 2 of the weakest ones. And then all of a sudden they have a good supporting radar. it basically nullifies me because I know I can't get close to that cruiser because I'm going to get blasted in 3 or 4 salvos, especially from something like the Seattle. So every class is usable. I have noticed that DD's strongest for getting those buffs and map control and vision. I think I'm averaging on my alt account like 105, 106,000 with the Jutland. So the Jutland has been a nasty little DD. This thing is so good if you haven't gone down this line. And then I think we're doing pretty solid on the main account. We're using the Jutland and the Jean Bart. We're kind of mixing it up a tad. More Jean Bart, though, than the Jutland. And overall, still having fun. I love Ranked. We've been doing it all live on stream, so come check us out if you want to. Twitch.tv/Mejash. And we might take some requests at some point and check out some other ships. But this tier, though, in my opinion, not the best tier. Arms Race, what do I think so far? I think Arms Race is actually pretty fun. It changes it up. We could potentially see a ranked Arms Race in the future. Normal ranked battles, I hope Wargaming starts doing more stuff like this, giving us stuff to do away from ranked battles. So this could be another test. Who knows? I like that it's kind of a mix-up and just changes it up. I'm actually having more fun than I thought I'd be. Going into ranked battles, I didn't think I would have that much fun, but it's actually been a blast. So I'm looking forward to it, and maybe we'll be a crazy person and then rank out on 3 accounts. Who knows? But overall, let me know in the comments below what you guys are using this season. Are you guys playing battleships, destroyers, cruisers? And if so, which ones? But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope this video helps you pick your best ship to get to rank 1 with, and hope you're having fun out there. But anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.